Hello friends, it's been long time since we recorded our Harshad Mehta part 2 video, and since then I was not able to get the time, and so now finally the final video and the last and the final video of Harshad Mehta will just finish the leftover story of the Harshad Mehta case. Okay, till the period of 1990 to 1991, the media portrayed a heightened and defied image of Mehta. They used to calling him as the big bull because he was the person who run the market uh, in a bullish way, madly. Okay, the media portrayed his flashy lifestyle, the penthouse which he owned. It was public. It was uh, it was flashed in the publication of various magazine and newspaper. He owned a sea-facing 15,000 square feet penthouse in the Tony area of Worli, along with which consists a mini swimming pool, a mini I'll say golf course, and also the fleet of cars which he had in his parking zone, which consists from LX for Lexus 400, Toyota Corolla, Toyota Sierra. Even at that time, the richest person could not manage such lavish things. So in a very short span of time, Mehta was at the top, and he was at new heights. Okay, so many influential person used to take his service of investment. They started investment in his agency as he was providing a good return to them. Okay, what was the criminal indictment against him which started against the Mehta? Okay, uh, it was said that Mehta and his associate undertook some kind of bluff with the help of banking system. Okay, what they did some kind of manipulation in the steep rising of Bombay Stock Exchange with the help of collateralized bank receipts which were actually uncollateralized. I'll come later what is collateralized and what is uncollateralized in my later part of video. Okay, what they did, they just the scheme was financed supposedly by the collateralized banking receipts. The bank receipts were used in a short-term bank-to-bank lending known as a ready forward transaction, which Mehta firm brokered. Okay, what was the background of 1992 and how the stamp paper fraud and the bank receipt fraud came? And now the the crunch, the main part of the video is going to start from here. This is the modus operandi which Harshad Mehta used. You will understand the whole bluff up to the early 1990s. Bank in India, they were not allowed to invest in directly equity market. However, they were expected to post a certain amount of profit and to retain a certain ratio that was kind of threshold to their assets in government fixed interest bond. Okay, Mehta cleverly squeezed that capital out of the banking system to address his requirement for the money. As you know that stock market involve lots of money to purchase share, and when you get some amount of money then you can purchase more number of stock. In this way the value of the stock can be increased. So Mehta use this banking. Mehta needs lots of amount to increase the price of the stock. Okay, what he did, he also promised the bank because he knew that Indian banking are not allowed to invest directly into equity. So what he did, he promised the bank higher rate of interest while asking them to transfer the money into his personal account under the guise of he said that okay, you transfer the money to my account and I'll buy the security in favor of you, security which the national security bond which the banking system required to invest at certain amount of the banking amount in national security bonds. So Mehta used as a broker between the banker and the national security bond. So directly the bank cannot purchase from the national security bond. They have to use the broker services to purchase the national security bond. This way, when he get the money, he 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 took that money and he invested that much amount of money into stock market. And in this way the price of some specific stock, whatever, when he has the intention to raise the price of that stock, he invest in that stock hugely. And the price, just I said in my previous video, that the price of a 200 rupees stock went up to 9,000 rupees within a very short span of time. Okay, so when he has to book the profit, he sell off all that amount of stock. In this way the market, the day when Mehta sold all that stock, the market crashed. Okay, the another interesting thing the Mehta used was the bank receipt fraud. Okay, what was the bank receipt fraud? The instrument which he used in a big way was the bank receipts. In a ready forward deal, the securities were not moved back and forth in actually. Understanding that the securities which the banking needed to buy from the security bond, they were not actually moved. Instead, borrower means the seller. The seller of the securities gave the buyer of the securities a BR. What is BR? These were the bank receipts. Okay, the BR served as a receipt from the selling bank. Selling bank who sell the securities. Okay, they issue a BR and also promise that the buyer the whichever bank needed to buy that securities, they get that BR. BR is the bank receipts. They promise that once the tenure will be completed, they will get the amount of money of that security bond. So Mehta used that BR. So he needed only the BR. He used the BR. Okay, when he searched the bank who can generate fake BR in his favor. Okay, when Mehta gets so for this purpose he contacted with certain kind of bank which issued him BR, fake BR. uh, when Mehta gets those BR bank receipts, and he passed these BR to the other banks who needed to buy the securities. In that way he gets some unsecured loan because he passed the BR, and the bank which accept the BR, they were under a presumption that they are investing in a national security bonds, and in return they are getting BR. Which So Mehta was using these bank receipts to get the unsecured kind of loan from the bank. So when which were not actual bank receipts, and there were no directly and actually purchasing of security bonds, but he was using that amount of money for investing into the stock market. So once these fake BR were issued, they were passed on to the other bank, and banks in turn gave the money to Mehta. So that was the simplest, I'll not say simplest, but that was the thing which the Harshad Shantilal Mehta used. Okay, there's one favorite dialogue is right now at this time is going on the media. Risk hai to isk hai. So okay, he knew that if these things will come out, then he will be accused of all this fraud. But he said then that risk hai to isk hai. So he took all that risk all the way. Okay, now okay, so he was getting lots of amount of money from the banking system in this way with the help of BR. And yes, he was just investing in certain kind of stock like BPL, Videocon, ACC, and when he invested the amount in money, the price of the stock went high, and he sold off. He returned the money to the bank who issued who purchased the BR. In that way, both the banks and he both were happy because the bank till the time he was exposed, the bank there were not anything. There were not a complaint from the bank back as the banks were getting the return safely. But what happened in 1992 when he was exposed? Okay, on 23rd April 1992, a journalist Sucheta Dalal exposed Mehta's illegal methods of all this procedure in a column in Times of India. What was the work of a broker? The broker work was just to bring two banks together, uh, and for that, a broker used to get the commission. Broker means between the two banks, the bank who purchased the national security bond and the bank who sell the national security bond. There were two banks, buyer of national security bond and seller of national security bond, and the seller of national security bond issue a BR, and the buyer of national security bond get a BR a bank receipts. So Mehta has its own bank receipts. These were forged and fake, and he issued these BR to the buyer, and in return he get the money. But these money were not returned to the seller. So this money were remaining to the level of Harshad Mehta, and he invested that much amount of money into stock market. So this was the all which you need to know about his method and what he did, what the entire bluff was that. Okay, this is, I think, the whole story gets complete here. The story will not complete unless I name that is. Can you believe that a single man, a person from very small town, if from no any background, can do all these things without any help? Yes, he struggled in his beginning. When he started to work, hardly he got experience by working some many agencies of broking agencies. But when he was experienced and he started trading on his own, people were attracted towards him and they took the services of him, and he very positively were providing his financial services to many great persons of Indian society, and they were also helping him. There were some I'll say some rumors about it that Citibank brokers like Pallav Seth, Ajay Kayan, Aditya Birla, Hemendra Kothari, and a number of politicians and even the RBI governor S. Venkataraman had played a role in facilitating the Mehta's work. Although in 2000, the Mehta died during the pending of the bail. I have told that the number of cases against him, Bagara, etc., etc. So I need not to repeat. If you please check my previous video. So that was all, and also there were one more associate of Harshad Mehta, Ketan Parekh. Ketan Parekh has its own story similar to the Harshad Mehta. So that's all the entire video here just completed, and I hope that you will learn and you will get some positive vibes from this, even from this story. I'll not quote this story as a negative or positive, but I'll say that if you want to use some positivity, you can take the positivity from anywhere, whether the story is negative or positive. It's depend on you what you want to see into it, what you want to take it from this story. Okay, in this way, I would like to end the entire story of this the Harshad Mehta case. And if you wish that there are some more informational and interesting topic which you need to know and which you feel that I need to cover, please write all these things, the topic name in my comment box. I'll try to cover. Okay, take care and bye.